Hello and welcome. I'm Christian Perry, Director of Syndicated Research at Enterprise Strategy Group, and I'm joined by Principal Analyst Mike Leone. Mike, nice to have you here today.
Thanks, Christian.
So, today we're going to talk about generative AI, which has dominated headlines and mindshare in 2023. And here at ESG, we recently conducted a study that dove into emerging use cases, challenges, stakeholders, and plenty of other areas around this disruptive, highly promising technology. And we uncovered some interesting findings around the impact that Gen AI will have on data and analytics life cycles. So, for example, when we asked organizations to identify their top priorities for generative AI initiatives, using Gen AI for data insights was far and away the most common priority. Can you tell us how generative AI is going to help in this area?
Sure, there are so many angles that I think we could go after here, but what it comes down to is the fact that, hey, the volume and complexity of data makes analyzing it hard for businesses, right? Businesses across virtually all domains, all industries, they need help extracting meaningful and contextually aware information out of their data. And it's really about empowering business users. There's so much data, it's almost impossible to analyze it from all angles or separate human biases and the way that data should be analyzed. I think there are some specific use cases where natural language processing can be leveraged to automate tasks like data summarization and report generation that really empower business users to do more with data, gain predictive insights, recommend actions. Now, generative AI, it can sift through that data and extract key patterns and insights that might be hidden within documents or customer feedback or even social media posts.
Yeah, I think there's little doubt that the impact of Gen AI is wide ranging and it's going to impact plenty of areas, but perhaps it's going to be most transformational on the analytics space. So, Mike, on what areas of the analytics life cycle do you think Gen AI will have the most significant impact?
Yeah, I think just analytics as a whole, it's best set up to benefit from generative AI, mainly because augmented analytics has been around for some time now. Capabilities have been available for several years where users of, say, a business intelligence platform, they could leverage embedded machine learning to generate reports or recommend a visualization or even query data based on natural language. Now, applying generative AI here can significantly improve those processes and really help more folks gain confidence in exploring and analyzing data. So I truly believe all phases of the analytics lifecycle can be improved by generative AI. And it really comes down to the stakeholders that are involved in those different phases or different areas. I already mentioned exploring and visualizing data that can be leveraged by data analysts or even generalists on the business side through integrated co-pilot experiences. For the business folks specifically, generative AI can help communicate the business problem. It can help evaluate and explain how to address it and even communicate personalized results. Now, when it comes to early phases of the data lifecycle or the analytics lifecycle, areas like data integration and data quality, right? That's where data engineers come in who can be empowered to identify or integrate the right data. Maybe it's through automated scripting and code generation. And some of that can extend to ML engineers and operations teams that are looking to deploy and monitor models in production environments. Even on the data science side, I've seen some examples where generative AI is helping with feature engineering. And look, these benefits, they're far reaching for all the involved stakeholders across all phases of the analytics lifecycle.
Yeah, we've seen elsewhere in our research that organizations need help across all of those areas of the life cycle. So, sounds like Gen AI is coming at the right time. We also see organizations scrambling to assemble governance structures to support the use of AI, including Gen AI, in their organizations. And we found that 46% of them are working to create an acceptable use policy for AI. Mike, can you tell us why such policies are critical and what else is in play in terms of creating and enforcing those governance structures?
Yeah, for me, it's really about cultivating trust, right? It's not just trust in the data, but it's trust in the process, trust in the generative AI response, trust in the results. So when organizations put governance frameworks in place, they're essentially demonstrating their commitment to responsible AI, ethical behavior, accountability, accuracy, transparency, et cetera. And all of those measures are in place in part to assure stakeholders that are using these platforms that they can do so with confidence, that the AI generated insights are within well-defined ethical boundaries. It goes a long way in getting buy-in from those users too, knowing that, hey, my organization's abiding by guidelines and standards. Um, with that said, I think we're still early on in this aspect of the generative AI market. There's still a lack of trust in these systems. There's still hesitancy to rely on recommendations and responses. So I think that trust is really fundamental to the broader adoption. Knowing users need assurance that the generated content is not only insightful, but it's dependable, it's aligned to requirements of specific users, and it doesn't introduce any unnecessary risk, not just to the stakeholder or the user's job, but to the company and the business as a whole.
So early times, but exciting times. Mike, thanks so much for your time today. And I'm looking forward to working with you further on this fascinating space.
Thanks for having me.